Embracing and nurturing your divine feminine energy is a powerful journey towards self-discovery and empowerment. When you prioritize healing this aspect of yourself, you will notice a transformation in how you perceive your relationships and how you interact with love and abundance. By tending to your divine feminine energy, you can cultivate a deeper sense of connection with others and with the world around you. Hi my loves, and welcome back to the Pink Galore channel. Today's video is going to be so interesting because I am going to give you so many tools to use in your day-to-day life. And we are going to be talking about healing our divine feminine energy within ourselves. Okay, so we hear the word transformation a lot, like especially if you're just starting your spiritual journey, you will hear that word being repeated and thrown at you all the time. If you also have been starting your spiritual journey, you also hear the words divine masculine and divine feminine, right? And what exactly does that mean? I feel like a lot of times when you are looking for spiritual guidance or just ways to empower yourself, a lot of times the waters can get very murky and you kind of like lose your way in your own spiritual journey just because there's so many energies coming at you and so much information is just coming at you at once, to the point sometimes it literally feels like your brain is about to explode, but you're also excited at the same time, right? In today's video, I am going to simplify pretty much everything you need to do to heal your inner divine feminine and also find the balance between divine feminine and divine masculine. So my first memory with dealing with masculine and feminine energy is actually from Mulan. Yes, I said Mulan. That's like one of my favorite movies. And if you remember in that movie, there was a necklace given to her and her fiance in Mulan 2. And this necklace was supposed to remind them that they were basically better together. If you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't seen Mulan 1 or Mulan 2, I highly suggest you watch it because like it is my favorite Disney princess. But anywho, back to what I'm trying to say. The necklace was supposed to be like a reminder that the both of them balance each other out. And I wanted to touch on this topic just to remind you that divine feminine energy is not gender specific and neither is masculine energy. We have both masculine and feminine energies within us. And if you're on your path of spirituality, you are just exploring your feminine path to understand your spiritual awakening, to understand how to navigate through certain things in your life so that way you are balanced. So there are 3 phases that I feel like when you know you are getting closer to your divine feminine. And I feel like the first phase is the unawakened phase. The second phase is the shell phase. And the third phase is the awakened phase. In chapter 3, you will hear about the 4th phase, but I want to focus on these 3 first. And yes, I'm using a lot of movie/character references because it eats down and it makes this whole entire experience a lot easier to comprehend. So who remembers The Princess Diaries? I remember growing up and I loved this movie so much. And I love Anne Hathaway. She has been in all of my favorite movies, from The Princess Diaries to The Devil Wears Prada. But this movie is the classic example of the 3 phases that I'm going to talk about. Okay, so now we're gonna get a little deep. Think of a time in your life where you did not feel your best self and you may have operated in a way where it was not self-serving for your highest good. You may not have felt worthy. You were chasing a lot of energies that wouldn't reciprocate the same energy back to you. You felt unfulfilled, Oh, just saying that just feels icky, right? Some of you could be going through that right now. And this is what it feels like to be unawakened. And you're vibrating at an energy where you don't even see your own value. And that's what attracts all of the things that come into our life. So it really kind of ticks me off when I see certain posts on like Instagram or TikTok about manifestations and bringing things in. And it's like, girl, boy, you're not even in the part yet. Like you're not even the main character yet. So how can you start bringing things into your life to help balance you out, or to like manifest a job, manifest a partner, manifest a house, when you're not even the part, you're not even the main character?
Yikes.
You're late.
I know. I'm really sorry about it.
And where is Paolo?
Send in Paolo.
The first step to changing all of those negative energies that we just talked about is to feel secure and grounded. And in order for you to get to a place where you feel secure and grounded, is you have to understand yourself. I feel like once you understand yourself and what you want, what you need, and where you're headed and your goals, then the universe starts opening up doors for you. For example, in the Princess Diaries, let's just say that Mia is your divine feminine energy and her grandmother is the universe. And let's say the external characters are people in your community. And in your community, there's positive and there's negatives. There's obstacles that you have to get over. There's lessons that you need to learn. And because you are unawakened, on your way to the next phase, you don't realize what is happening to you. So you could be feeling overwhelmed, very emotional, confused, conflicted, not really sure. And this is how you pretty much get yourself in a loop, a karmic cycle. You start bringing in toxic relationships, toxic people, toxic habits, having old childhood wounds that are unhealed come up. So we want to get to a place where we recognize, keyword, we recognize the triggers, we recognize what is happening, we recognize that there are certain people, place, or things that we need to separate ourselves from, and we need to start pouring into ourselves so that way we are more balanced. And once we do this, now we are aligning with our highest good. Versus before, we didn't have a clue where we were going. Like, we kind of knew the destination, but we weren't really sure if we were going to get there because there were so many distractions along the way. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I don't want to be distracted that much to the point where I forget why I even came here in the first place. Now that you recognize that you're done living your life this way, a lot of you are in the second phase. This is what I call the shell phase. The shell phase is so fun. At least at first it is. Once you realize that you are not actually in your divine feminine energy like you think that you are just a shell of it. And during this phase, you're going to start to prioritize your fitness, your health, and your beauty. But it's all coming from a very 3D level where it's kind of superficial in a way, because now you're like, okay, I see the value in myself. I know what I want. You're kind of like, I know what I want, I know what I need, I know where I'm going. But there are still things that trigger you. There are still wounds that are kind of healed, but they're not really healed. And you still get emotional, especially in connections that you've put on a pedestal. Right, we thought we were over that in phase 1. No, we're still going through that in phase 2. And you still have some doubts. And these doubts come in every once in a while, and there's a little bit of regrets too in there as well. But once again, you're just a shell. Like, you might have the look on the outside, but the inside still needs a lot of work. And the crazy part is you're not even going to realize it. Yep, you're going to think that you are at the third phase. Yep, you're going to think that you have completely worked on yourself. And the gag is no, like the work is just beginning. And it's a lot of self-sabotaging in the shell phase. You might feel a little bit more inclined to be more sexual and show yourself off, but not for the right reasons. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I evolving? And the third question, it hits the nail on the coffin. Do I care about how the world views or perceives me? And is this coming from a place of acceptance, a place where I want to feel accepted?
I'll tell you why, because you are a mean girl. You're a bitch.
I realized as of recent that a lot of this shit is not normal. And I didn't know how to process that experience. And I was having like a lot of lashing out and like a lot of frustration, and there's a lot of opinions, a lot of entitlement to your space, a lot of entitlement to your time, a lot of expectation, and no one is understanding in the realm of being like, well, why, and or if
I think that's pretty fear-based. I think that would put me in a state of fear.
It does, and it actually makes me on the edge and not a kind person, because the anxiety of wondering like how people are, there's so much perceiving going on, but these people don't know you. They're seeing you in a vacuum in your most high pressure moment. And it's like, it's scary. So it's like, oh my God, I'm not the person that I want to be right now, because like I'm not kind, calm, and like relaxed and patient and all these things. And it scared me, because I'm like, whoa, like, and then people are ingesting me in that state. But it's like, this is the first time that I've had, like, I'm still the shy person from high school. I hate being perceived. I hate coming outside. I don't want to party. I don't want anybody to even look at me, honestly. I don't want to take pictures. I hate being on video. It's the bane of my existence.
I love this interview when it first came out, because I feel like whenever SZA does an interview, I'm always in shock to hear how she actually feels. I feel like a lot of times I just listen to her music, but to hear how she feels like being perceived is just like the worst feeling in the world, and she hates being perceived. And for her to talk about like her anxieties, and I love how the interviewer was like, yo, you're like showing up in fear-based, and she's like, yeah, I know I am. So this is just a prime example of what it feels like to be in the shell phase. I think for me personally, when I was going through this journey myself, I had to set boundaries with the people that I cared about. I had to start making new avenues for myself. And I remember starting off like really small, and it's gonna sound weird, but I just remember texting good morning text messages. But what I would say in the text message was so profound, because in the text message I would put like, know that you are loved, you are worthy. And I would send that to the people that I cared about in the morning. And I didn't realize how that was like propelling me into like a new phase in my life. And then it started getting kind of murky and complicated, because there were friendships that I thought were good. And all of a sudden I'm on this new vibration, and the friendship / connection is not working anymore. Or should I say, it just wasn't at my vibration anymore. And every time I would be around these people, it would remind me of my old self. And then it was like my friends of 10 plus years all of a sudden didn't know me. They didn't know my good intentions. They didn't know why my business or things that I wanted to do in my life were so important to me. But I could understand everything that they wanted to do and just respect their boundaries. But when it came to my boundaries and things that I needed, nothing. And then the realization sits in. And then you start to kind of reflect on certain connections and friendships, and you're like, okay, I think I've moved past this. Oof. And then let that sink in, especially if you're thinking about switching to a new career or doing something that you've never done before, you kind of already have that feeling. You have that all knowing that you've already evolved past it. But something in you wants to keep holding on to it because you feel like you're going to miss out on an opportunity, or you feel like, well, I've cherished these memories for so long with this person, people, place, or thing. I don't know who I am or my identity, how that's going to be without it, right? It's kind of like a security blanket, like when you're a little kid and you didn't want to throw it away, but eventually like you have to grow up and you have to learn and grow to like live without it. And that's kind of what the shell phase feels like, because people around you will start to notice that something about you is changing, and that's where triggers and wounds start being brought up. And that's how karmic cycles can start, because you are afraid to let go. You're afraid to be like, you know what, maybe this is not good for me. Maybe this partner that I thought was good for me is not good for me. Maybe we are not aligning. And it's crazy. It sounds funny, but a lot of times the universe will have these people, place, or things tell you that they are not meant for you. And you will see the sign. You will see it. The awaken phase is when everything starts happening for you. Literally, this is where you want to be, because you're going to be receiving so much energy that is aligned in your divine path, that is aligned with the things that you want to do in your life. And this is where manifestations actually start to take seed, which is so important. But at the same time, we want to be in our receiving energy. And once you've done the work on yourself and you are able to be conscious and aware and use your intuition to be more intuitive to things that you want and things that you want to receive, and have a state of mind where you are not so focused on the 3D, where you are focused on the 5D. And I'm going to touch a little bit about the 5D in this chapter. I want to do a separate video about living in the 3D versus the 5D. But what I want to emphasize about this process is knowing that everything is always working in your favor. Not only that, when you are in your awaken phase, you are not judgmental towards anything. You are not judgmental, because you know that everyone has their own journey and everyone is on their own path. And just because a situation, a person, place, or thing is not working for your new aligned self does not mean we place judgment on it. What it means and what it tells us is that this part of us, this season has closed, this chapter has ended, and we are moving forward.
You may get alter egos, or you may get, I may get a little bit creative. If I'm in a frisky, sensual, sexy place, with Dirty Computer.
Right.
Specifically, I was, a lot more open. I let you in just a little bit. And I think with the age of pleasure, I'm floating in it. Like I actively made a decision to be more present, not thinking too much about the past or in the future, but just being super present with the people I love, with myself, and just honoring this moment and being unapologetic about creating a schedule and a life that brings me joy. Like, what are those things? I think during the pandemic, and I know it was tough for a lot of people, including myself too, but I know that a lot of people didn't have an opportunity to work, provide for their families. And for those of us like myself who could stay in and really go in, it worked wonders for me. Like I just got more in tune with I was, what I wanted to say, what didn't work for me anymore, what shit I needed to let go, what did I need to heal from. Okay, and now I feel like I'm in a new life, like I'm on my third, second life. Like it's very weird. It's like life before healing and then life after.
I love me some Janelle Monáe, and hearing her say that is so profound because a lot of times we hear so much about manifestations, going deep within, time traveling, and all these things. But I feel like the moral message of this is just doing the inner work. Because if you don't do the inner work, nothing can grow, right? Nothing can come into fruition. Nothing can take seed. And if you are constantly thinking of the past and you are dwelling on it and it is still affecting on you, then that lets you know that you need to do some inner healing. And it is also not good to constantly think about the future because that can also leave you stuck and feeling as if I do anything left or right, it can mess up this possible future. But when you are in the awakened phase, you need to know that everything is happening for your highest good. And what this does is keep you more present in the moment. When you are present, you are living in your truth. You are living your life. You are finding your bliss. You are finding what aligns you. You're not worried about outside factors. You have a sense of power within you that aligns with your inner knowing and your intuition. And this is where you begin to become magnetic. And when you become magnetic, you radiate from not only the outside, but on the inside. And you start attracting the same like frequencies. And people, places, or things and opportunities will start to come your way.
Excuse me, are you okay?
Yeah. Did I just put you on the spot like that, like all the time?
The professors, yeah, they tend to do that, Socratic method.
And so if you don't know the answer, they're just gonna kick you out.
So you have Stromwell, huh?
Yes. Did she do that to you too?
No. But she did make me cry once. I mean, not in class. I waited till I got back to my room, but yeah. And for Leventhal, you know, make sure you read the footnotes, because that's where he gets a lot of his exam questions from.
Right. Wow. I'm really glad I met you.
Hey.
The magical art of divine timing. We never know exactly when something is going to happen for us or to us, but I feel like there is an inner knowing that it's on its way. And when you claim this power, a lot of things do align without you even realizing it. And if you do realize it, you're like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe that this is aligning for me. When you are awakened, you know that divine timing is happening for your highest good. You don't have to force, persuade, chase. Opportunities will literally land in your lap. But you are not shocked. You are not surprised because you know that it is meant for you. When you have that inner sense of knowing, it creates more magnetic energy. So that way you are aligned and you are in tune with your highest self. You are in tune with the higher knowing and you are on the right path. Think of a time when you craved or you wanted something so bad, whatever that could be. Did those opportunities ever really come to you in the best way? Sometimes times, the things that we think that we want are not really aligned with our highest good. The things that we desire are not aligned with our highest good. But when you are unconscious, you think that these are the things that you truly want. You think that these are the things that you truly desire. So ask yourself, is this how I want my life to be? Am I only craving this desire out of validation or acceptance? Ooh, let that one just land. Let that land. Let it land. When you are able to be honest and truthful to yourself, then you are able to let go of things that are no longer serving you. You are able to let go of things that are not serving you, and you are able to realign yourself yet again. Because I have this theory that we are constantly going through a cycle. And this cycle is different depending on, of course, your chart, what you're going through in life, your age, and things of that nature. But it's almost as if we are like a butterfly. And each time, it's like we get to start again anew. Think about all the things that has happened so far in 2024 that have been very profound and pivotal moments in your life so far, regardless of what that could be. Like for me, it was the solar eclipse. Like that was a highlight for me so far for 2024. For you, it might be something different, but we are constantly reinventing ourselves. And I feel like this is our inner calling from our soul to elevate, to grow, to evolve. So I feel like we even crave to be around people, places, or opportunity that is always transcending, that is always willing to grow. Not only just grow, but they want to grow with us as well. They want to be around us as well because we are in alignment with each other. So I feel like this is also very important to know. When you fear the process of change, you take away from the journey. When you fear change, you withhold, you restrict. All of these words that I am saying is very important because when you are not able to change or evolve, you are holding back the process of your growth. You are holding back the process of your journey. A butterfly does not withhold that process. A butterfly is constantly going through this cycle of change. Chapter 4, The Balance. We covered so much information in such a short period of time. Just know that this video is timeless and so is the information within it. In this last chapter, I want to quickly cover the difference between 3D and 5D. There will be a video going more in depth. Whenever you are thinking out of a place of fear or lack, that is coming from the 3D. 5D is where you want to be at. 5D is living in the present. 5D is knowing that everything is working for you. Everything is working for your highest good. I feel like me repeating this over and over throughout the video is really embedding it into your subconsciousness. Finding the balance between feminine energy and masculine energy is quite simple. It's not hard or technical how some people might make it seem. When you embrace your masculine side of yourself, you are setting clear intentions and you're taking actions to achieve them. You are practicing self-discipline, and those are all the things that we talked about today. You are engaging in activities that help you connect with your body, your mind, and your inner strength. You're connecting to your higher power. And this helps you cultivate and balance between your feminine and your masculine energy When you embrace your feminine side, you allow yourself to be vulnerable. You allow yourself to express your emotions in a healthy way. You surround yourself with beauty. You engage in activities and creativity that inspires you. You cultivate supportive relationships with other people, other divine feminine and divine masculine who help you feel more connected to your feminine side. It is all about the balancing of those two energies that really help you on your journey. And I feel like the thunder was confirmation to everything in this video. Okay, so this pretty much concludes the video. I'm going to be giving you some gems. And the gem that I decided to share with you guys is from my favorite artist, Mac Miller. Rest in peace. But if you are looking for more confirmations or just music to help you in tune with your feminine energy, I feel like you need to listen to his album, The Divine Feminine. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite albums by him, and I truly do cherish this project because he represents masculine and feminine energy in that album. So if you haven't already, check that out as well. And I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.